Hey guys, good morning. It's Dr. Lisa coming to you live from Tampa, Florida, where I continue to lead a very busy primary care and functional medicine practice along the front lines of this COVID-19 pandemic. I'm coming to you a little bit later today. We had some technical difficulties with my computer, so sorry about that. But I wanted to hop on. I hope everybody had a wonderful weekend, that you were able to tell your mom how much you love her, hang with your kids if you are a mom, support any moms in your life, and that you were able to rest and renew for an amazing week ahead. The newest science that I wanted to chat about today was very, very interesting. That a publication that came out in The Lancet, which is a very highly regarded journal, about immunity. And I know that's probably the hottest topic, at least in my practice and with my family and my friends, about the antibody testing. What does it all mean? Can we trust it? How likely are we to have a positive result? There's so many of us who had weird illnesses, ranging anywhere from probably August through March. And I have patients who seemed almost textbook for COVID-19. And as we all know, there has been a block and barrier to first getting the actual test for the virus itself. And then we've all been waiting for the antibody test to become available. So what I've experienced in my practice is that we have now tested probably about 30 people, or maybe a little bit over, with Quest Diagnostics antibody testing. We just started. We're doing more and more every day. So I'm collecting this data to share with all of you. And we've only had maybe about 5 show up positive, meaning that we can believe that those 5 people potentially have immunity. We don't know exactly how long they have immunity for, how long it will be good for. We also have variables about this virus because it is mutating. So will the immunity that may show up on these antibody testings, will it still be efficacious and effective if the virus continues to mutate? And I don't think anyone really knows the answer to that question. So what the study showed was that only about 20%, which is a super low number as far as I was concerned, of people who had actual disease developed antibodies. What does that mean? So we're putting all this energy and frankly money and time and discussion power into talking about these antibodies and this antibody testing. And 80% of people who have the virus don't even mount an antibody response. So what does that mean? And again, I don't think we know fully the answer to that. As always, I'm going to share my opinions with you guys. So the 20% that did show immune response, they were more likely to have a high antibody titer or a positive antibody titer if their disease course was more severe. So that's the other part that has been fascinating and interesting over the past several weeks of this epidemic and pandemic, is that they've been tracking people in the hospital and their antibody titers are the ones that are popping up, which makes sense too. The more severe the disease, the more likely your body is to mount a more active and robust response, and that would result in antibodies. So at this point, I think it is interesting to have, to come in and get antibody testing. I'm still recommending people do that, especially if they felt they had a pretty severe infection, just to see. But remember, you may have been exposed, you may not have antibodies. And then what does all of that mean? So my recommendation for you is this. If you had severe disease, you're clearly going to get tested. If you were like me, where I had a flu bug that seemed odd, I wanted to get tested, and I'm also obviously in the healthcare field, I wanted to get tested. My antibodies were negative, by the way. But if you have not felt sick, if you've generally just been, hanging out, being able to take care of yourself, support your immune system, I don't think that the antibody testing is going to be worth the investment at this point, as far as I can see. There are new tests coming out. So I did take 5 of my patients who had one family member that was positive, and they were all negative. And then we have retested them with another lab. And so far, those results are negative as well. So when the government is going to be talking about things such as antibody testing prior to returning to work, which I've heard that mumbling, which completely got me unnerved. That makes absolutely no sense if 80% of patients who even have this are not going to show up positive with antibodies. So I think we need our voices to be heard. And that's going to be my actionable step for you today as we kind of wrap up, is take a look at where you can voice your opinion on having your rights, whether it's being able to decide if you want a vaccine, whether it's speaking out against antibody testing prior to work returns, which again, they haven't talked a lot about, but it has been mentioned. Those things, we need to be active, we need to be connected, and we need to speak. So make sure that you find that place where you can, whether it's just posting on social media, sharing this video, going and talking to your friends, writing to a legislator, whatever it is, we need to continue this forward movement, because the data that keeps coming out is not black and white. The virus is not black and white. It is mutating daily. A vaccine is not likely to be able to treat something that is changing all the time. What's going to be able to help treat us is staying in the frequency of love, which helps our immune system, eating clean food, doing things to hack our mitochondria. There's plenty of information on that on my website. I have a new ebook that I just put out, so you guys can check it out. And I'm going to end with an affirmation, and I hope everyone has a wonderful Monday. The affirmation is, I speak powerfully about what I believe in from a place of love and authenticity. I speak powerfully about what I believe in from a place of love and authenticity. Bye for now. Thanks for joining me. I hope you guys have a wonderful day, and I will see you here tomorrow. Take care.